Hey guys, a few months ago I made a full video all about how to lose fat faster. In that video I went into different nutritional things you should consider, different modalities of exercise that are better or not so ideal for fat loss, like cardio. Check out that video if you want to learn all about why cardio is not optimal for fat loss. I also went into other things that you need to take in consideration when you're trying to lose fat. But today I wanted to do kind of a follow-up to that video, but look specifically at the mindset side of it, because this is the one thing that really stands in so many people's way and they don't even actively realize it a lot of the time. If you have a complete plan of everything that you need to do to help you get to where you want to be, fat loss, building muscle, whatever it may be, you can have that full plan. But if you do not have the right mindset about how to implement that plan, it is not going to work for you. You're either not going to be able to stick to it, or it's just not going to get you to your goals. So today I want to take you through the 5 most important mindset changes to make in order to help you lose fat faster, build muscle faster, get you to whatever your goals are faster, and stop the yo-yoing. A lot of people want to make change, but they aren't ready to commit to these necessary steps in order to actually get to that point. It's one thing to want something and to know what you need to do to get there. It's another thing to be fully ready and committed to implementing what you have to implement to get there. Before we get into it, if you are excited to make some mindset changes that are gonna make getting to your goals a ton easier, give this video a big thumbs up. Really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button for more fitness, health, wellness video tips from me. And without further ado, tip number 1, make space in your life for change. If you want to change your body, you're going to have to make changes to your life, to your lifestyle. And if you don't make space for these changes, you're just constricting yourself and not giving yourself the space to grow into the new human that you want to become. So an example of this is setting new social boundaries. You're going to need to probably, if you're starting from where the average person would be starting, go to the gym more, which is going to take time. You're going to need to follow a healthier diet, which is going to require certain, not necessarily restrictions, but just certain guidelines to follow. And this can have an impact on your social life. If you're someone who just loves being social, you love hanging out with friends, then this is something that you might find challenging. But you're going to have to set new boundaries to create that space to do these other things that you need to focus on. So you're going to have to create space in time. So maybe instead of hanging out with your friends, 3 or 4 times a week, you cut it down to 2 to 3 times a week, and you can use those extra hours for gym time. And then you're also gonna have to create space nutritionally. So if you want to follow a more whole foods based diet, but whenever you hang out with your friends, you're either drinking or going to a fast food place, you're either gonna have to set boundaries with them and say, hey, like, these are my goals. I would appreciate it if we could go to X, Y, and Z kind of restaurant or do X, Y, and Z kind of activity together that is more in line with your goals, and hopefully your friends will go along with that. But if they don't, then this is where you have to exercise creating more space in your life to live the life that you want to live. Another place you may need to carve out space is just in your daily schedule. Maybe you're gonna have to become a morning person. Maybe you're going to have to cut down on a couple hours of Netflix a week. One thing that I did for myself in college to create space to live the healthy lifestyle that I wanted to live was I literally scheduled my classes around my workout time, which I know is not practical for everyone, but if you can do this, oh my goodness, it literally created the best year of schooling for me because everything was built around the lifestyle that I wanted to live rather than letting what I already had dictate my lifestyle. This is also something that I am applying to my current healing journey. I have kind of been carving out space from my work because I was working way harder than was healthy for me, to be honest. So I have had to kind of like scoop out some of that worky space and shove it into my health life. And honestly, it has made the biggest difference. My second piece of advice kind of stems from my first piece of advice, and that is to make peace with anything that you might be leaving behind. The idea of having to give things up or give people up or give part of your life up in order to develop a new life that is the life that you want to live holds a lot of people back. So one of the examples that I just gave was carving out space for your healthy lifestyle out of your social life. Well, this might mean that you are leaving some of your social life behind, some of your friends behind. You decide to focus on yourself. You decide that you want to get healthy, you want to get fit, but you have this friend group that doesn't share the same mindset and they don't like it. And so they start to reject you because you're starting to be different from them. You have different goals, you have different interests, you have a different life motivation. A lot of people do lose friends as they go about bettering themselves. And that's also something that can hold a lot of people back, but it's something that if you can come to terms with that, will free you to be the person that you want to be. You might have to come to terms with leaving some Netflix time behind or even making more money. So if you are struggling to come to terms with leaving anything behind and if you think that's what's holding you back from reaching your goals, I definitely recommend framing it in your head as though you're carving out space. I don't know why this is my like symbol for carving out space, but every time I say that I make a sphere with my hand. A spherical space in the life that you're leaving behind. Think of it as though it's that space that you're using to fill with the things that are going to give you the life that you want, rather than the idea that you're pushing things away or having to actively lose things. My third piece of advice, and this is also a big one, is to be open-minded to alternative methods to get you to your goals that might actually work better for you. So you might have this plan in your head, you might have this step-by-step process, maybe you watched my last video about how to lose fat faster and you're gonna follow every single piece of advice to the T.
I'm just using me as an example, but this could be literally any influencer that you may be following and you want to stick to their advice because you see it working for them. Maybe it worked for you in the past, and so you're really committed to something and you're going through this process,
but it's not working. And you're like, what's going wrong? I am following everything exactly like I did it before and got insane results, exactly like this other person is doing it and they got insane results, but nothing's happening. I am not getting to my goals. This is where you might need to step back and reconsider what you're doing and accept the fact that maybe you need to try something else. And this sounds really obvious when you say it out loud, but the biggest issue that I have with the fitness industry as a whole is how dogmatic everyone gets about different diets, different exercise routines, different styles of living. Everyone thinks that their way is the best way, the only right way, and if you don't follow that, you are gonna get fat and die. That is just... I could rant for hours. Basically, there is not one size fits all, so be open-minded to trying different diets. It's okay that you've been keto for the last 5 years and it's worked great. If it's not working for you anymore, it's not working for you anymore. You don't have to be keto for your entire life to say, yeah, I had a good experience with keto, now I'm doing something else. But trying something else doesn't necessarily mean just diet or exercise style. It could also mean taking a step back from both of those and just focusing on your sleep and your stress. Or even taking a break from everything in the physical health realm and just focusing on your mental health. Fixing your mental health might be the main thing that you need to focus on in order to get you to your goals faster. I'm also currently being forced to deal with this as I'm going through my own health journey, because as I'm dealing with topical steroid withdrawal, which is not widely acknowledged in the medical community, there's not a lot of science, A, to even support that it's real, let alone give any sort of guidance on how to heal from it or how to optimize your healing from it. So I am being forced to look into everything. You know, of course I'm looking into diet, exercise, sleep, and stress. I'm also looking into other things, more woo-woo things. But since there's no other information, I'm being forced to look into these other things and explore other avenues of healing. Tip number 4 is to fully commit to changing. Now, quick disclaimer. This could potentially cause some slightly orthorexic behaviors if you take it too far. I just mean fully commit in the sense that you eliminate any chance for you making excuses for yourself, because making excuses for yourself holds almost everybody back. It holds me back, that's for sure. I have made so many excuses as to why I can't go to sleep on time and why I'm so stressed out and need to stay so stressed out. Excuses come so naturally to humans, to the point where half the time we don't even realize we're making excuses. You have to eliminate chances for excuses and just fully commit. So one of the huge things that I just did that I feel so good now that I've done it is when I got back from San Diego, I went back to my kitchen and I realized there was so much stuff in there that was not compliant with the nutrition plan that I want to follow in order to help me heal my body. And so I spent hours in my kitchen that day and just cleared everything out of the cabinets that wasn't compliant with it, piled it up on the counter, and then either packed it in shelves that are way too high for me to reach or packed it in the garage. I do feel like I'm actively choosing not to eat stuff. I'm not intentionally restricting, or I don't feel restricted not eating these things, but still, you know, you open the cabinet, you're like, oh, that snack looks good. Oh wait, I'm not eating that. And just having that reminder constantly is not helpful. So if you're trying to make some dietary change, I cannot recommend enough doing this to your kitchen, just getting rid of everything that you don't want to be a part of your new lifestyle, that you're not taking with you into this new you that you are becoming. If you have it in your house, it's so easy to just reach for it and eat it and be like, oh, I forgot, or oh, I just wasn't paying attention, or oh, I had a craving, it was there. Excuses. If it's not there, you don't have an excuse to eat it. So if you have a new goal for your body or your health, think of the lifestyle that you will be living once you get there, and then go through your house, your car, your office, any space that you spend time in regularly, and design those around that lifestyle. Design it as though you've already achieved it. Making change is hard, and regardless, you're already gonna be fighting an uphill battle against yourself. Don't force yourself to be battling your environment as well. Speaking of which, the people that you live with, particularly like your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, or I guess parents definitely count for this as well. So if there's someone in your life that plays a huge part in influencing your decisions, I cannot recommend enough sitting down with them, having a candid discussion about your goals, what you want to achieve, and then telling them what they can do to support you. It's so easy to use other people as excuses because it completely diverts the blame from you onto them. So if you can remove people as excuses from your change as well, that is a huge game changer. And my last piece of advice is one that a lot of people probably don't want to hear. And I know it's something that a lot of the times I don't want to hear either. And that is that you might need to consider changing your end goal. You know, losing the last 5 pounds probably won't make you any happier. Yeah, you might see some changes in the mirror that you're like, oh, that's nice. But if you don't love your body at where you currently are, losing weight or building muscle, whatever you're trying to do, is not going to make you love yourself or your body anymore. If you're close to your goal weight and you have hit a hard plateau and nothing you're doing is making effective change, that might be for a good reason. It could be that you're at the point that your body really wants to be at, and so it's fighting you to stay where it feels comfortable and it feels happy and it feels healthy, and you're trying to push against that. And so it's possible that you ultimately are going to be happier and healthier if you just accept what your body's trying to tell you. Even if you're not close to your goal weight, if you're like 50 plus pounds overweight, you have some excess fat on you that you want to lose, and you've just been actively trying to lose fat and it's just not quite working, it could be that you need to build some muscle. But basically, all it is to say, if you've put a ton of effort into getting to your goals and you think you're doing everything right, maybe you've worked with a trainer, worked with a nutritionist or whatever, and they're all telling you that you're doing things the right way, maybe it's your goals that need to shift rather than the plan that you're using to achieve them. So overall, change is difficult. Change can be scary. Change for the better can still have some negative consequences. And it's often these negative consequences that hold us back from being fully prepared to commit to the changes that we want to make, from being able to dive headfirst into this new lifestyle that we want to create for ourselves. It's often these negative side effects that cause us to backtrack, that cause us to just completely go off track in a different direction, that cause us to end up yo-yoing back and forth because we get to a certain point, but we're just not ready to make that final leap to get to the point that we want to be. So if you already have that step-by-step plan to get to where you want to be, you know what you need to do, but you just can't get yourself to take all of the steps and get there, or something just keeps happening along the way, these are the things that you need to consider and that you need to actively kind of deal with in your life in order to give yourself the opportunity to make those steps and to build the you that you want to be. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you don't have that step-by-step process and you have no idea how to go about starting to lose fat, then I definitely recommend you check out my previous video. I will link that down in the description for you. It's gonna give you all of the tips and stuff that you need to know in order to like lose fat effectively. So definitely go check that out. But in the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, your family, your fat loss buddies, or anyone who's just struggling to make a change in their life. Leave a little comment down below and let me know what sort of mindset things you have struggled with in your health and fitness journey in trying to achieve whatever goals that you have. We can have a discussion. Maybe we'll all learn something from each other. It will be fantastic. For more videos from me all about effective fat loss techniques, you can check those out over here. I'll also link some more down in the description. Just if you're on a fat loss video kick and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button to see future videos from me all about fat loss, fitness, wellness, etc. Notification bell if you want to get notified about those videos, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.